Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. It has happened. We are here after, 242 episodes. We have finally reached Hot Christ Summer. Wow. I never thought it would happen.
Or for our Australian listeners, a cozy Christ winter.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, there you go.
Delightful.
Oh, that's cute.
And also with you.
And also with you, yeah.
I was very close to showing up in a bikini for this episode.
Wow.
But then I kind of thought, I don't know, drinking and on camera, and this bikini top is technically a little too large on me, and there's going to be a celebrity
just
nip
a nip
slip waiting to happen.
We can't have that.
We can't have that. Not on this show.
Not on this family-friendly show.
So family-friendly. I know. I feel like our family-friendliness has diminished over the years a little bit.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, though. I feel like we still are relatively family-friendly.
We're tame.
As family-friendly as the Bible can be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we match the level of the Bible.
Yeah.
No one can deny
sure.
that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So, talking about the occasional pitching a tent or the occasional brutal murder of women and children, it's all
the same.
all normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say, thank you to everyone for waiting. We had to start a little bit late. I was barreling down the freeway trying to get here in time. And I was passing all of these Jesus signs on the way.
Oh, really?
I know. I'm getting there. I know. I'm so ready for Hot Christ Summer.
I'm coming, Jesus. I'm coming.
I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Amazing.
Oh,
wow.
gosh. So I've been thinking about this as maybe like the start of a season 2.
Yeah.
We had a season 1 that lasted 5 years,
Wow.
basically.
Goodness.
And this is like the start of season 2 of Drunk Bible Study. So this is our chance to really, a lot more funding, of course, like a second season of a show. Often you'll have a bigger budget, more special effects.
For sure.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I just want to ask.
Go ahead, Em.
Yeah, what am I in for here?
What?
Especially at the beginning, because my partner was like, so are you going to read all the Gospels in a row? And then he said something about one Gospel is like about Jesus the man, and one is about Jesus the prophet and various things. And I don't know if that's actually true or an interpretation or what's going on there.
That sounds like an interpretation to me.
Okay.
I mean, all 4 Gospels technically tell the same story, a very similar story, but certainly with differences. And so, of course, this is the kind of thing that's been picked apart and reinterpreted over the years. I'm sure as we dive into it, we will come up with our own fun interpretations.
Okay.
This is actually a good segue into a little bit of background about where we're starting here. So we are starting, and I think we're just going to do the 4 Gospels in order as they are in the Bible, right? So it'll be Matthew, then Mark, then Luke, then John. They are kind of telling the same thing over again with some differences, like Dedeker said. But I think that because they're long enough, hopefully it won't feel so repetitive. And of course, we'll be recasting who plays Jesus between all of them. Other characters maybe will be the same actors, maybe different actors, So there's that. I will say that to answer a little bit of that question, Emily, I was doing some looking into this beforehand. And basically, of the 4 Gospels, 3 of them are called the Synoptic Gospels.
Okay.
Which is Matthew, Mark, and Luke. So the first 3. And basically they're called synoptic because they're very similar to each other. They pretty much contain the same stories.
Synopsis.
Like synonyms or sin, that kind of sin, right? That they seem pretty much the same.
Not the other kind of sin. Got it.
Right, the S-Y-N kind of sin, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's John, who basically tells a different story. Like a lot of different stories. It diverges a lot more in its language from the other 3. Generally, historians tend to agree that John was written a lot later than the others as well. That's something we'll get into as we go through each book, though.
He's the walrus, so,
Cuckoo, yeah.
Yeah,
So this...
Paul is dead.
Yeah.
there you go.
Paul is dead.
Yeah.
So the Gospel of Matthew was originally, for a long time, believed to be the earliest of the four, although more modern historians actually say that Mark was actually written down before Matthew was.
Okay.
But either way, they're still the first two we'll read, and they tend to be thought of as the earlier accounts. It's attributed to Matthew, the tax collector, who features in the story. He's one of the disciples, which we'll get to. Although, of course, as with everything that we've read, everyone's like, no, actually, it was probably compiled from various writings by other people. This was probably actually assembled and written down during like the second generation of Christians rather than this first generation of disciples. But, that's kind of how it goes.
Wow. Okay.
So right out the gate, we're going to have some very important casting
Okay.
because we're going to have Mary. We're going to have Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the J-Man himself.
Yep.
We're going to have, I think that's just going to be in today's reading, right? We're going to eventually all the apostles.
The three wise men are going to show up.
3 wise men. Yeah, those are good for some bit parts.
Wait, in this one?
Yeah.
Are the wise men there?
I think they're going to be in our reading today, yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, Emily, most of the Gospels start out smack dab right in the middle of Christmas.
Oh my,
The Christmas holiday season is at its peak
I
Right.
mean,
when our story opens.
I love that as a professional Christmas caroler.
Right.
I'll actually get some
Mhm.
context into all of the things that I sing on a yearly basis. I love that.
Perfect.
I love
Yes.
that, yeah.
Perfect.
It'll be great.
Yeah, do we want to talk about casting Jesus at all? Obviously, he's a baby at first, but then he pretty much doesn't actually show up with any speaking lines until he's 27 or something like that. So I don't think we have to worry too much about casting child Jesus.
No.
I mean, I would love to start out with Ewan McGregor
Okay.
as Jesus.
See, I was going to vote for Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Oh, I mean, I love that
Oof, that's
too.
another
because we've
really
been
good
holding
one.
on to him for a while for a good, juicy role.
Shoot, Chiwetel as Jesus.
Wouldn't
That would
be
be a
good?
good one for sure.
Okay, we got to go with that one first.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll go with Chiwetel.
We'll see how it is, right? Maybe the characterization of Jesus in this, we're like, that's not the right fit. But I'd love to start with him.
Let's bring him in.
Okay.
Let's have him read.
Yeah, let's have him read.
Now, I do think before we start reading, we should at least cast Mary and Joe.
Oh, Mary and Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have we put Lupita Nyong'o in anything yet?
I was thinking her.
Yeah.
That was literally, I was thinking it before Jay suggested a black Jesus, but
We have not cast her yet.
Yeah,
if we want to play it like that, we
I think
can.
I love that.
she's one of the most beautiful people to ever grace the universe.
Okay.
I love
Okay,
her.
Love that.
Let's bring in Lupita
Yeah.
for a read.
Let's see. What if Joseph was, I don't know.
He's a smaller part,
Yeah.
He is a very small part.
traditionally. Yeah.
We have been holding on to David Duchovny for a while.
Ooh,
That's just
I like
random,
that.
but okay. I mean, sure, why not?
Okay, could I see David Duchovny and Lupita Nyong'o having a child that looked like Chiwetel Ejiofor? I'll
Well,
believe it.
I mean,
David Duchovny is technically not involved
He's not
in
the
that
father,
conception there.
so it's fine.
oh, you're right. You're right.
He's not the
Okay.
father, he's the stepfather.
Right.
Also, I have two things. One, does The Rock always remain God?
yeah, obviously.
I'm thinking yes.
Yes.
He is our stronghold.
question.
Yes,
He's the
okay.
one character
true
who can never
God.
be recast.
Which I
Yeah.
kind of love.
Yes.
Like everything revolves around The Rock, which is why I'm drinking.
Yep.
Going on to my second thing. What are you two drinking? I'm having tequila again, and of course it's Hermana. But what are you 2 drinking?
I'm also having
Lovely.
tequila,
Okay.
but with some watermelon flavored sparkling water with it to go
Ooh,
with the
yum.
hot Christ summer kind of tropical
Yes.
vibes going on.
Yes. Dedeker.
I think what did you make for me, Jace? I think it's that same watermelon sparkling water just with some vodka in it.
Yep.
Again, to match the hot Christ summer.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I went a little bit more like we're.
Wow, so fancy.
Yeah, this is. I had
Mm.
these just gorgeous strawberries from Whole Foods. These like huge organic ripe strawberries. And so I made them into a margarita, and I threw some pineapple chunks in there too. So it's a pineapple strawberry
Beautiful.
frozen margarita with Termana.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Yes.
Great.
All right, shall we?
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
It's
time. It's
happening.
finally time.
Dedeker's so excited.
We're all I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, oh, geez.
I
Like,
know.
I know. Here we go.
okay. Right. So today we're going to be beginning our Hot Christ summer here with the Gospel of Matthew. And it is going to start off with a genealogy, but Emily
Great.
is the one who assigned the chapters, and she assigned this to herself. So no one to blame.
I thought
yourself.
everyone told me that it needed to be me doing it. So here I am. Oh boy, here we go.
Well, bear in mind, the listeners
There we
don't always
go.
have your best interest in mind.
Yes,
That's
I have
true.
learned that, unfortunately.
As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, we're on to Matthew chapter 1.
Chase, I love these beachside party vibes.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we were going through quite a few of them before you got here, Dedeker.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew chapter 1, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ. And this says Christ, Greek, and Messiah, Hebrew, both mean anointed one. The son of David, the son of Abraham.
I don't remember that being in the Bible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's like so that's a footnote. The way that our Drunk Bible Study /read page works is those
The
like
footnotes
footnotes
go
just
right
kind of
there.
get stuck into it.
Okay.
But it should be like italicized or something, right?
It is.
So you can
It is
kinda tell.
italicized.
Yeah.
It's interesting, again, they call him the son of David, the son of Abraham. So he's part of like this lineage, I guess. But of
Mhm.
course, like he's not actually the son of David. He's just like maybe the great grandson.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Like they've been
Okay.
doing the whole time, right? They say
Yeah.
son of whoever
Sure.
or just David, meaning any number of his descendants.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Abraham became the father of Isaac. Isaac became the father of Jacob. Jacob became the father of Judah and his brothers. Judah became the father of Perez and Zerah and Tamar. Perez became the father of Hezron. Hezron became the father of Ram. Can I just say, like, clearly people who are reading this haven't just read all the shit that we just read? I mean, I'm assuming.
Just because
Maybe
you're
I'm
like,
wrong.
yeah, we know, or what do you
Yeah,
mean?
a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
They're like, we need yet another refresher. But that's fine. Okay. Ram became the father of Aminadab. Aminadab became the father of Nahshon. Nahshon became the father of Salmon
Salman Rushdie.
Yeah, Salmon
Salmonella.
became the father of Boaz by Rahab. Boaz became the father of Obed by Ruth. Obed became the father of Jesse. That's Jesse's line the crown.
Oh, the Jesse's line the crown.
it,
Yep,
yep.
that's the one.
Jesse became the father of David the king. There we go. Wow, this is going way back.
Yeah.
David became the father of Solomon by her who had been the wife of Uriah. We're not even going to say her name, just say where she came from.
Uh-huh.
Solomon became the father of Rehoboam. Rehoboam became the father of Abijah. Abijah became the father of Asa. Asa became the father of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat became the father of Joram. Joram became the father of Uzziah. I love how they say, like, became the father.
Mm.
Like, it just,
Very
like,
passive.
it happened out of nowhere.
I don't know what happened, but there it was.
Yeah, but I just became his father. Uzziah became the father of Jotham. Jotham became the father of Ahaz. Ahaz became the father of Hezekiah. Hezekiah became the father of Manasseh. This is going to keep going.
You got it. You got it.
Manasseh became the father of Ammon.
They're at least names that we do remember, right? So the whole point of this.
No, I mean, I'm saying them. Without
yes.
much fanfare.
You are able to say them. That's true. You've had a lot of practice up to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just I think it's worth remembering that in context, right? That this is now quite a while after.
A bajillion years later. Yeah.
I mean, not a bajillion, but maybe another couple hundred or something after like
It's
the
just a
latest
couple
thing we
hundred.
read before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that then the whole point here is saying like, I want to make it clear to you, dear reader, how very much related this man is
To
to all these
other
people that
men.
you know and love. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Ammon became the father of Josiah. Josiah became the father of What is that?
Huh?
Jehoian.
Just show it.
I don't know. Jechonia.
Jaconia? I can't
Jaconia?
even find where you are. Jaconia?
Jaconia?
It's
Yeah,
11.
Jaconia. I'll call it Jaconia.
Jaconia.
Yeah, sure.
Jechonia and his brothers at the time of the exile to Babylon. After the exile to Babylon, Jechonia became the father of Shealtiel. Shealtiel.
Mm-hmm.
Shealtiel became the father of Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel.
Zerubbabel.
Sorry, what?
Zerubbabel. Never said Zerubbabel.
Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel became the father of Abu. Crap. These ones are not as well known. Abuid. Abuid became the father of Elikim. Elikim became the father of Azor. Azor became the father of Sadok. Sadok became the father of Achim. Achim became the father of Eliud. Eliud became the father of Eleazar. Eleazar became the father of Mathan, not Matthew. Mathan became the father of Jacob. Oh, another Jacob. Jacob became the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary. Wait.
Yeah, it is fun that he did name his son the same as the other Joseph, but different Joseph.
No, but this is essentially saying that Jacob is also his father, right? That because he's a descendant, and that Mary is like the married one.
Wait, hold.
No, but they're saying that Joseph is also a descendant of all these people that Jesus was a descendant of. I guess I thought that all of these people were a descendant of Mary, not of Joseph.
I think isn't the theory that Mary's also related to David?
Yeah, we looked into this a little before.
I guess it makes sense.
Well, but it's always who knows what's real?
Right.
Who knows
It
what's
makes
real?
sense.
Right? And who knows what's it's really convenient to make sure that we write the story so that there is this undeniable connection to David.
John Duff is saying you mean ancestor, not descendant. What's the difference? What's the difference?
The ancestor's the one that goes up. They are my ancestor,
Right.
but I am
and
their
the descendant. Got it.
You are the
Okay.
descendant.
Sorry.
the kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what then? That means Jesus is a descendant of all these dudes.
Well, technically, his stepdad is a descendant of all these dudes.
Yeah, that's just interesting. So I don't know. It just basically the moral of the story is Jesus has all the power of all the dudes.
Uh-huh.
And
Most
of
powerful
God.
baby around.
Yeah, for sure. And of God. Okay. So whatever. Jacob became the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary, from whom was born Jesus. And there's a little footnote. Jesus is a Greek variant of the Jewish name Yeshua, which means Yah saves. Jesus is also the masculine form of Yeshua, which means salvation. Which is what Joshua is from, right?
Yeah, it's the same name.
Yeah. Okay, so born Jesus, who is called Christ. What does Christ mean?
Oh, well, it says our little sub note up at the top said it means anointed one in Greek.
Cool. Okay. So
like of
christening.
Yes.
Yeah. Which all y'all have been, but I haven't, right?
Yes, I was christened.
Well, christening and baptism are different things.
I've done both.
Oh.
And I've also done both.
Oh,
well,
okay.
See? So yes. So basically correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Christening is a tiny amount of water when you're a tiny amount of human, and then baptism is a larger amount of water when you're a larger human.
Got it.
Unless you're various denominations, in which case you do a baptism with a tiny amount of water as a little baby and you don't do it again later.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, there's different schools of thought on what needs
How
to
much
count.
the water to human ratio
Got
and
it.
when.
Okay,
Right,
what-
exactly. Mine was the full on, fully submerged in a pool of water type baptism. Once I eventually did that.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so was mine.
Wow.
But also when I was a baby, I was christened with a little sprinkling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same.
it's just the priest throwing it on.
Sure, somebody
your
throws it
forehead.
at your face.
The pastor, yeah.
The pastor, the priest.
The priest
Okay.
would be if we were Catholic.
Okay, got it.
Protestants
Yeah.
don't generally say
I have no idea what faith I was christened into, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah,
No
that's a
idea.
good question.
No
Maybe
idea.
you can ask your mom.
whatsoever. That's a good question.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
a great
I'll ask my
question.
mom.
Yeah.
Both of you ask your moms and report
Okay.
back next week. Okay.
Okay. Great.
And I won't because I wasn't. All right, 17. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. From David to the exile to Babylon, 14 generations. And from the carrying away to Babylon to the Christ, 14 generations. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ was like this. For after his mother Mary...
Okay.
So get this. Get this.
Out. Yeah.
Check it. For after his mother Mary was engaged to Joseph before they came together... You know what that means.
Boy.
Oh, yeah. I do. I sure do.
She was found pregnant by the Holy Spirit. Okay, so, like, I have some questions.
Already.
Well,
I've got answers.
Did, like, God come in the night and impregnate her? And was it, like, a whole to-do? You know, was it, like, an actual...
Now, that's
having
fun
sex?
because...
Or was it just like a poof? There's a stork that came into your belly, and the baby is coming. Is it coming?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened?
Great question. Now, it is fun that in this particular book, this particular religion, unlike Greek and Roman mythology, we don't actually get the account of it happening. That's never written down anywhere that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Now, however, in different Gospels, we do get a little bit more backstory to Mary.
Right.
And yeah, because this misses the whole Annunciation part, which in other Gospels, we get the story of when Mary is told, hey, this is going to happen to you.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess this one skips
we kind of skipped over
part.
in this version. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So in different Gospels, we're going to get that? I mean, that would be kind of nice to have a heads up, to not just be like,
probably in Luke.
How am I pregnant?
Luke is the Gospel that has the most elaborate like nativity story.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll get there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this next one is interesting. 19. Joseph, her husband, being a righteous man and not willing to make her a public example, intended to put her away secretly. Well, thanks, Joseph. Thank you so much for that. But when he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, don't be afraid to take to yourself Mary for your wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She shall bring forth a son. You shall call his name Jesus, for it is he who shall save people from their sins. Joseph's like, whoa. Isn't that like
can I
really famous right there? Or something?
Oh, yes. Good call. Yeah.
For sure.
That whole thing about like,
he shall
fear
bring
not.
forth a son.
He shall
blah, blah,
bring
blah.
forth a son. And yeah.
People are pointing out, just sorry to diverge us, but that the Tyndale seems like it's pretty good.
That's what I was
in
just
here.
about to say.
Oh, good.
For those of you who've listened to all of the Old Testament, you may remember that the first 5 books of the Old Testament had a translation by Tyndale, which is amazing. And he only did the first 5 books of the Old Testament, but he did, I think, all of the New Testament, or at least the Gospels. I forget which. But yes, Tyndale is back. And I would love to read from verse 18 here. I'll read up to where you just stopped there. Okay. I gotta get my Tyndale voice back. Whew.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember how it goes?
Yeah. The birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise.
The birth
Was on this wise. When his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, before they came to dwell together. I like that. It's literally
Together.
two space getter. Gedder.
Get her done.
Together.
Get her. I don't even know her.
Yeah, get her.
Yeah. She was found with child by ye Holy Ghost. That's spelled Goost.
Goose?
Goose.
Like a
Yeah.
goose?
Yeah.
Oh, no, a goose.
Goosed by ye Holy Ghost. The Joseph, her husband, being a perfect ma and loth to make an ensemble of her, was minded to put her away secretly.
Uh-huh.
Will he thus thought, behold, ye angel of ye Lordy appeared unto him in a dreamy, saying, Joseph, ye son of David, fear not to take unto ye Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost. she shall bring ye forth thee a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Well, my sinus.
Oh,
My
nice.
sinus.
I need some help with my sinuses right now. So
Oh, Tyndale.
yeah, thank you.
Tyndale,
Wow.
we missed you.
We missed
you,
him.
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm almost done with this chapter. Here we go. Now, all this has happened that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Behold, the virgin shall be with child and shall bring forth a son. They shall call his name Emmanuel. So I know the song O Come, Emmanuel, but I didn't realize that it was about this.
And ransom captive Israel.
How
yes.
many?
Yeah.
Yes, well done, Dedeker. How many freaking names does this dude have?
Oh, so many.
He does have a lot, yeah.
Many names.
Okay, well,
We haven't even
all right.
gotten them all yet, so.
Wow.
Oh,
What?
sorry to interrupt, but update from my mom about what faith I was christened into.
Good. What is it?
Real time.
An Episcopal church,
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
which is kind of like Catholic light.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently my paternal grandmother requested that. So
Oh, all right. So
here I am.
here you are. Jace is going to have to ask too. Well, while he's doing that, I will finish.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is being interpreted God with us. Oh, that's what Emmanuel means, I guess. God with us.
Mm.
Joseph arose from his sleep. Oh, okay. So this was a dream that he had. And did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took his wife to himself, and didn't know her sexually until she had brought forth her firstborn son. He named him Jesus. So, okay, he didn't have sex with her while she was pregnant, I guess is what we just learned.
Well, because the virgin birth is key to this story,
Right.
I'm sorry.
I suppose. Also, I want to clarify, just to rewind, and some people in the chat pointed this out, that this whole thing about Joseph being like, I'm going to put her away in secrecy or whatever Tyndale said.
Yeah.
The way that was always interpreted for me was, you have to think about what's at stake here is if Joseph makes a big stink about the fact that his fiance is pregnant,
Yeah, it would be bad.
like she's going to be killed.
Sure.
Right?
She'd be
Like she's going to be
stoned,
stoned to death, you know? And so I guess it's kind of the idea of like, Joseph is a stand-up guy. He doesn't want to marry her because that sucks, but he also doesn't want her to be stoned. And so he's just like, I'm just
We're going to
gonna
hide it from everyone.
we're gonna hide it, or we're gonna, or I'm gonna. I think in some other versions, other translations say he planned to divorce her quietly.
Wow.
Maybe
Right.
like we're just gonna kind of hand wave. Oh, it didn't work out, and like she can figure out her life so that at least she's not being made into literally a public execution.
Yeah.
I see. And so then God was like, listen.
Pal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that Joseph is like is a cool dude. Cool
Yeah,
enough.
David Duchovny.
Yeah, cool.
Super cool dude.
Totally cool enough to
Yeah.
not be like, let's kill this lady. And instead, yeah, God made it
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you also commented on it talking about how Joseph didn't have sex with her during the pregnancy.
Yeah.
There's some interpretations. I believe this is the Catholic interpretation that Mary always stayed a virgin her entire life.
I'm sorry.
Real bummer.
Yeah, there's
for both
some
of
schools
them,
of
yeah.
thought.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, people in the chat are saying that Catholics claim Mary never had sex. What? I'm sorry.
Because Mary's the ultimate role model for women, and she embodies something completely impossible, which is be a mother and also a virgin at the same time.
Yeah, so the ultimate role model? Are you kidding me? Good
She's
Lord.
being a little bit sarcastic. Yeah.
This is getting
yeah.
into some interpretation and theory and
Right.
things
Goodness.
like that. But,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But the faith that I grew up in, for some reason, they felt it very important to clarify. No. Mary went on to have other kids.
She did. Okay. Yeah.
So
Well, and that's
yeah,
the whole thing from Dogma, right? If you watch that movie, where it's, the idea that Jesus had siblings. And so there are, half siblings, I guess. Half siblings who then went on
Are you talking about the Kevin Smith? The Kevin.
Mhm.
I just watched that recently. Isn't that chick in it like Jesus's someone?
Yeah, she's Jesus's something.
Someone. Okay.
All right.
All right. Are we gonna go
now,
on? We gotta,
Before we go on, I did want to stop for just a moment to that thing that you just read, Emily. The what the angel said, right? A virgin will conceive and bear a son, and you shall call his name Emmanuel.
Yeah, that's from yeah, it's Handel Messiah.
Correct. And those words in Handel's Messiah are from what book? Not this one. It's from Isaiah.
Yeah.
Isaiah. I was like,
Yeah.
Isaiah. I was like, Isaac? That's not it. What's close to that?
Yeah, so this is Isaiah, way back in Isaiah chapter 7.
They said this again. Okay.
Where Ahaz was saying to Isaiah, I guess, ask a sign of Yahweh your God. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above. And Ahaz says, I won't ask. I won't tempt Yahweh. But listen now, house of David. It's not enough for you to try the patience of men, that you will try the patience of my God also. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin will conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. And then it goes on to talk about him eating honey and stuff like that.
Does he do that?
But basically, that's why it's so important to emphasize. No, Joseph didn't have sex with her at all during this. We want to be clear. This is the version that was mentioned back then, 200 years ago or whatever. I know you thought it was something that would have happened closer to that, but no, it's this.
Got it. It's a huge case of blue balls, but okay. Shall we move on?
Yes. It's you, Jace.
Yeah, sure. Let's do one more. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 2. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men. Now we have a footnote here saying the word wise men or magoi is how it has it here. Magi is how you'll see it in other translations.
Yeah.
Can also mean
Gifted
teachers.
Magi.
It could mean teachers, priests, physicians, astrologers, seers, interpreters of dreams, or sorcerers.
I thought that those were bad.
Which is an awesome collection of things. Yeah, I'm a little
Yes.
confused about that. But these wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, where is he who is born King of the Jews? For we saw this star in the east and have come to worship him.
Cool.
They're like, are we in the right spot?
Very non-committal magi.
Here? Yeah. Is this where we're supposed to be?
When Herod, so the king at the time, when Herod, the king, heard it, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Gathering together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, they asked them where the Christ would be born. Where the Christ would be born. They said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written through the prophet, quote, you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are in no way least among the princes of Judah, for out of you shall come forth a governor who shall shepherd my people Israel, end quote. Then Herod secretly called the wise men and learned from them exactly what time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. When you have found him, bring me word so that I may also come and worship him.
Herod was around for a while then, if he was still around when Jesus died.
Well,
I think it was a different Herod by that point.
Really?
Or I guess it could be the same Herod.
We'll have to look into that later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, Jesus didn't live super long.
I know.
I mean, spoiler alert, but
Well, I know he lived till like 33.
right, yeah, okay.
I'm older than he was
Yes.
ever existed to be. Yeah. Okay. All right, go.
Okay, so Herod said this thing. We got to cast someone good as Herod.
Ooh.
I really like Ted Danson that
Ooh.
Brady Lofton in the chat just recommended.
That's
Yeah, I
interesting.
haven't seen good Ted in
Oh,
a
I
while.
love that. Wait, is this Herod 1 or Herod 2?
Well, we're starting out with Herod 1, so
Okay.
Maybe there's only one
Now-
Herod. We don't know.
I want to make a case for the three wise men also. So now some people have argued like the three amigos.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
Chevy Chase.
we did already cast Steve Martin and Martin Short as the Jericho. Or no, we
Oh.
cast Steve Martin as the Jericho spies with Bill Murray.
Oh,
I was
right.
going to make a case for the Always Sunny guys like Charlie Day, Rob McElhenney, and Glenn Howard.
Sure,
That's
that's
the
fine.
wise
As this
man.
first
That's a good
version
one.
of the three wise men.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so we're saying Ted Danson potentially. I was imagining, I don't remember his name, but the guy who played Kingpin in the Marvel TV.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Universe.
Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he could be
Right.
an interesting one. If we want to have a real like villainous King Herod, right?
He's a really good one. Yeah. Maybe he'll be Herod too.
Okay.
I'll
All
add
right.
him to the list.
Okay.
I do also need to point out,
Mhm.
as John Dolph has pointed out in the chat, that no gospel indicates that it's three wise men. It's just that
Oh,
they later will go on to bring three gifts. So it could be 25 wise men for all we know.
It's true. We can just use up all sorts of casting on this. Love that. Okay.
Just an entire, we'll call up central casting and just send us all
There you go.
extras.
Yep.
200 wise men.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll have the three guys from It's Always Sunny will have the speaking lines, and then everyone else
Yeah.
will be, just in the background.
Bit
Okay.
parts. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so King Herod was like, yeah, totally. I want to worship him too. Go find him, They, having heard the king, went their way, and behold, the star, which they saw in the east, went before them, until it came and stood over where the young child was. Now, this whole thing about them coming from the east,
The star stood?
the star stopped over where the child was,
Okay.
I guess.
So the star moved?
It's a little confusing, huh? Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
The star moved.
It's almost like stars don't act that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost
it's
as
almost
if.
like that's
Yeah.
not what a star does, but okay, whatever. It's
yeah.
fine. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Now, this is why, the fact that it keeps saying that these wise men were from the east is why that We Three Kings song says of Orient are. So this is implying that they're
I see.
from the Orient. That they're
From the
from
Orient?
way east.
Wow.
Is the idea that I was always taught. I don't see that in here.
They
really,
could have been from right
besides-
next door.
Right. Yeah. It's unclear how far east we're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
I love that. I love singing that song.
As a kid, of course, I thought they were saying that they were from a place called Orientar because
Oh,
otherwise
good.
it didn't make sense to me, right? Okay.
I love it.
Let's see here. Where was it? Oh, yeah. It stood over where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. They came into the house and saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him.
Wow.
Opening their treasures, they offered him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
What the heck is the kid going to do with that?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's for Mary. I feel like most gifts for babies are actually for the parents.
True.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Love it.
They're like, here, have some nice smelling stuff. Oh, and gold.
Yeah. Gold's good.
Being warned in a dream that they shouldn't return to Herod, they went back to their own country another way.
Interesting.
So they saw through Herod's little sneaky situation.
Very smart. Very
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Now, when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt and stay
Whoa.
there until I tell you, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that this was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I never heard this part of the story.
Yeah.
Oh, that Jesus' life was threatened from the moment he popped out.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he arose and he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt.
Wow. I totally missed that my whole life.
And was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled. Now here's why. That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, quote, out of Egypt I called my son.
I don't remember that part of the story, that we have to make them go
What
to
does that
Egypt
mean?
in order for it to fit this part of the prophecy.
Yeah. So in looking into the book of Matthew a little bit for this episode, the whole deal with this is that, one, we want to establish that he's related to all the cool dudes, right? Which we did already.
Yeah.
The next
Yeah.
thing we want to establish is that he is the new Moses. And Moses came out of Egypt, so this kid's got to do that too.
Let my
You're
people
right.
go.
Yeah, let my people go. Yeah, exactly. So basically, that's how we can take any prophecy that was about Moses and can apply it to Jesus because he also came out of Egypt.
Okay.
Okay. Then Herod, but they stayed there.
I guess Herod,
Okay.
Before he died?
Yeah, I think this is, they stayed there and didn't come back until Herod died. Meanwhile, Herod, when he saw that he was mocked by the wise men, was exceedingly angry and sent out and killed all the male children who were in Bethlehem
Whoa.
and in all the surrounding countryside from 2 years old and under, according to the exact time which he had learned from the wise men.
This is a
Jeez.
parallel to the Moses story also.
That is fascinating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Wow.
mhm. Then that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet was fulfilled, saying, quote, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation, weeping, and great mourning. Rachel weeping for her children, she couldn't be comforted because they are no more. End quote. Right. So way back from Jeremiah. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, "Arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for those who sought the young child's life are dead." Ding dong, the witch is dead.
The witch is dead.
Ding dong, Ted Danson is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
See ya,
arose.
Ted Danson.
He arose and took the young child and his mother and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus,
I'm sorry. who?
Archelaus?
Archelaus.
That's how I would say it.
Archelaus? Oh, that's
I don't
fun.
know.
I have no idea. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Judea in the place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. Being warned in a dream, he withdrew into the region of Galilee and came and lived in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken through the prophets, he will be called a Nazarene.
Isn't that what you were called, Dedeker?
I was.
As the prophets,
went to the church,
as
the Church
the
of the
prophets
Nazarene.
say, she will be called
Wait.
a Nazarene.
I thought that, it was Jesus of Nazareth, but like getting the actual Nazareth, it took a while to get there.
Right, he wasn't
It was
born
like
there.
Jesus of a
True.
lot of different places.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
Jesus'
brilliant.
origin story where he's like, I was born in Wisconsin and then we moved to Pennsylvania and
Yeah.
then North Carolina or some
North Carolina, then
and
Pennsylvania, then eventually
Yeah.
Seattle. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
but I think of myself as
that,
having
because
grown
it has
up
to
here.
match. It has to match the prophecy that
Right.
he will be from a Carolina.
yeah.
Well, I think he will be. Yeah, that he came out of a Carolina, and that he will
Yeah,
be. He will be
that's it.
called a Seattleite. I'm pretty sure that's how
There
the
you go.
prophecy was
Okay.
done for me. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, boy.
Okay, before we go on, we want to take a quick break to talk about how you can support this show. If you are as stoked as we are for Hot Christ Summer, for finally getting to this testament that is newer than the other one we read, we're so excited. And the best thing you can do is just tell your friends about it. Bring more people to the party. Tell all your friends that this is the place to be every Thursday for the live shows, which you can get information about at drunkbiblestudy.com/live. And it's the best place to be every Wednesday, the week after that, when the recorded version comes out everywhere that fine podcasts are sold for free. So please go there and check it out. And if you want to go the extra mile and really become a true parishioner of this show, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. There, as a thank you for being a parishioner, we have early releases of episodes, personal toasts on the show, Emily's drink recipes, and who knows what else now that we're in the New Testament.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Hello, 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 and welcome. Let us continue with Matthew chapter 3. In those days, John the Baptizer came. I've never
Is
heard
that
him
John the
called
Baptist?
The Baptizer.
Is that John the Baptist?
Yes, John
Do you
the
think-
Baptist.
Do you think this is a World English Bible translation thing where they're like, we can't call him Baptist. That's trademarked. We got to call him the Baptizer. Makes him sound like a wrestler.
Is he going to get his head cut off?
Maybe.
I mean,
Who knows?
Is that this guy?
Emily, we
What?
can't get ahead.
We don't know
Can't
that
get ahead of
yet.
ourselves.
I just am asking.
Now, I like the idea of casting Brett Goldstein, who played Roy Kent in Ted Lasso,
Love him.
to be John the
Oh.
Baptizer.
Tizer.
That's great. John the Baptizer.
Yeah.
Definitely
yeah.
makes us feel like a real knockoff, if we called him John the Baptizer.
I know. The discount version.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is fun. I'm
Yeah.
I'm assuming he'd be playing a character similar to Roy Kent, right?
Well, he's got to be, right?
Right. Where Jesus would come up and be like, he's like, oh, Jesus, you should baptize me. And Jesus like, actually, you should baptize. And he's like, ah.
Yeah. Love it.
In those days, John the Baptizer came, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, saying, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he who was spoken of by Isaiah the prophet, saying, quote, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make ready the way of the Lord, make his path straight.
Is that Hear Ye? That song?
Which song?
Hear Ye, the way of the Lord. What is that song, Jace?
You thinking from Handel's Messiah also?
No, I was thinking of
Oh.
oh no, prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Prepare ye
Mhm.
the way
Yes.
of the Lord. From Godspell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did
Is
not.
that this?
No.
Yes.
Well,
It's also Isaiah, right?
I think that's also
This
Isaiah.
is a callback of a callback. That song
Yeah.
is a callback to a callback.
Okay,
Right,
got it.
right.
Got it. Okay.
I didn't realize, and I've been, again, the amazing things that come through when you actually read this book straight through instead of just
Yeah.
having it read to you or
Yeah.
curated for you
Yeah.
is I didn't realize literally at every turn we could be like, see, it's because of the prophecy. It said this. And then see, oh, it's because of the prophecy. It said this.
Well,
See-
that's what can I ask, like, it seems like this was written just to be like, oh, the prophecy, it happened.
It does make it seem like that, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, John himself wore clothing made of camel's hair with a leather belt around his waist. His food was locusts and wild honey.
Ew. Icky.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Tyndale
Tyndale?
Bible here.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in verse 1, he calls him Ihon the baptized.
Oh. Okay,
Ihon
good.
the baptized.
Ihon.
Ehon.
And then what's funny is in verse 4, it's this Iho, just I-H-O. It's
Oh.
now left off the N. I guess it's
We
his
didn't have time.
nickname. Yeah. had his garment of camels here and a girdle of a skin about to his loins. Gross.
Okay. Girdle of the skin. Ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
Then people from Jerusalem, all of Judea, and all the region around the Jordan went out to him. They were baptized by him in the Jordan, confessing their sins. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees coming for his baptism, he said to them, "You offspring of vipers, who warned you to flee from the
Whoa.
wrath to come? Therefore, bring forth fruit worthy of repentance. Don't think to yourselves, 'We have Abraham for our father.' For I tell you that God is able to raise up children to Abraham from these stones.
What?
Even now, the axe lies at the root of the trees. Therefore, every tree that doesn't bring forth good fruit is cut down and cast into the fire. I indeed baptize you in water for repentance. But he who comes after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to carry. He will baptize you in the Holy Spirit. His winnowing fork is in his hand, and he will thoroughly cleanse his threshing floor. He will gather his wheat into the barn, but the chaff he will burn up with unquenchable fire."
Unquenchable.
Where does the metaphor begin and end here?
I need to back up because does Emily know what a Pharisee or a Sadducee is?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we've not covered those. We haven't
I don't even know what that is.
run
Yeah.
across them yet, have we?
No, this is our first mention. You want to
Yeah.
find us a definition, Jace?
Sure, yeah. So the Pharisees were a Jewish social movement and school of thought during the time of the Second Temple period, which started way back, right? Second Temple period we read about in the Old Testament, but that goes through this time. Let's see. After the destruction of the Second Temple, which happened in 70 CE, the Pharisees' beliefs became the foundational liturgical and ritualistic basis for rabbinic Judaism.
Okay.
So basically, they were like a particular school of thought. Generally, they're portrayed as kind of like the
Like the old guard?
Okay.
elite intellectual
Yeah.
types in a way.
Maybe like the legalists, that was kind of how it was always interpreted for me. But who knows
Yeah.
what the truth is?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true, right? It
Yeah.
could be very different.
Yeah.
Oh dear, boy, you can tell I've been studying Spanish because it autocorrected and it found me the Wikipedia page for the Saduceos.
Oh, the Sadduceos. Sí,
Yeah, los
sí,
Saduceos también conocidos como. Okay, I can't.
You're doing it with like a Japanese accent, kind of.
sí. Old habits die hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Sadducees were a socio-religious sect of Jews active in Judea during the Second Temple period, again, during this time, through the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. They're often compared to other contemporaneous sects, including the Pharisees and the Essenes.
Those.
I never heard of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they're just people that suck. They're like
okay.
the low grade
Got it.
antagonists
According
of the story.
to Ihon the Baptized,
Yeah.
at least.
Okay.
Then Jesus came from Galilee to the Jordan to John to be baptized by him. But John would have hindered him, saying, "I need to be baptized by you, and you come to me." But Jesus, answering, said to him,
Oh,
"Allow it
he's
now.
talking now.
Yeah, he's walking and talking now.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
I think he's an
We're
adult
there now.
at this point.
He's an adult now. Yeah, I think he's supposed to be 27 or something now. Or
Wow.
yeah, so a lot of time went by
Yeah.
where he was in Egypt.
Okay.
Again, there are stories from Jesus's childhood that are skipped over in this particular gospel, but we do get in other gospels.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. But Jesus answering said to him, "Allow it now, for this is the fitting way for us to fulfill all righteousness."
It is fun that John the Baptist like clocked him right away. He's like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh shit, I had visions about you. You're Jesus."
And he's like, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Sup.
Yeah, you're right.
Sup. Sup.
Then he allowed him. Jesus, when he was baptized, went up directly from the water, and behold, the heavens were opened to him. He saw the Spirit of God descending as a dove
Oh.
and coming on him.
Uh,
Behold,
Oh.
a voice, behold,
Um.
a voice out of the heavens said, "This is my beloved son, with whom I am well pleased."
And everybody was like,
That's the end of the chapter.
cool.
And John's like, I know. I told him that already.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We have one more chapter. Should I get to it?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. So
Chapter 4. Yes.
I do want to give one little piece of background that I did learn about the Gospel of Matthew is that
Okay.
it is structured into 5 main parts.
Okay.
And that first, what we just finished, so chapters
1, 2, 3.
Well, chapters 1 and 2 specifically was just like the setup. It's just the prelude, just to establish, like, look, dude, these prophecies, like, yeah, legit. He's the guy. He's the prophecies. It's him.
He's the boy.
And-
He's the man.
And then starting with chapter 3, although other accounts I've seen start this at chapter 4, but this is now like the first section, and it's going to go through chapter 8. So just so you know, kind of for a sense of like framing, we're starting now kind of this first section. We'll call it a section of Matthew.
Okay. Cool. All right, here we go. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. Whoa.
Classic.
What? This is random. Like after he got baptized?
Yeah.
Wait, what? When he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry afterward. Yeah, no shit. Like super hungry.
Now, do you get this callback?
Oh yeah, didn't that one dude do that? Was that Moses
yeah.
also?
Yeah.
It was
that
also Moses? Okay.
Yeah, he went up to the mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, and fasted. Yeah, but that made more sense. Like there was some prelude to that. This like just was like, oh, he did that. He fasted and he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But he answered, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God." Then the devil took him into the holy city. He set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will give his angels charge concerning you. And on their hands they will bear you up so that you don't dash your foot against a stone."
Now,
What does that mean? What?
First of all, did you recognize that super famous quote that man shall not live by bread alone?
No.
Oh.
But cool.
Well, it's one of those super famous quotes that's whipped out a lot, right? Man shall not live on bread alone. And is
Really?
usually...
But in what context, Jace? When do you hear people being like, man shall not live by bread alone?
It comes up a lot. And what's funny is it's often used out of context to mean like just bread isn't enough. Like you need more variety, or like you want to eat other things, like living on just bread sucks. Even though like that's not at all what he's saying, right? It's like, no, it's not about bread. It's about what God says.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those funny examples of, you'll hear it now. Now that you know it,
Yeah, it'll pop up.
You'll hear. I'll
people
hear.
in the chat, can you back me up here? Can I get
No,
some?
they are. They're like, it's Christians say that, Emily. And I'm like, okay.
Okay,
Well, I
great.
guess I'm not around that many Christians. I am
Yeah.
sometimes, a lot of carolers are Christians, can I just say?
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people who hear that I'm a caroler, they're like, oh, is Jesus in your heart? I've heard people say that to me, and I'm like,
You're like, no,
Well,
I
but-
like the paycheck.
But maybe now he will
Hashtag
be.
truth.
You'll be like Choedel Ejiofor, as Jesus is in my heart. Right
Mhm.
here.
And then people will be like,
A black Jesus.
and I'll be like, yes, exactly. I love it. Okay, anyways, here we go. So he will give his angels charge concerning you. Yeah, what is
Hmm.
that? Throw yourself down, for it is written, He will give his angels charge concerning you. On their hands they will bear you up so that you don't dash your foot against a stone. What?
Yeah, I mean, let me try to clarify this for you.
Please.
For it is written,
Oh.
He shall give his angels charge over thee, and with their handies they shall hold thee, eat up, that thou dash not thy foot against a stone. Pretty clear, right?
So clear,
Yeah.
so clear. Okay.
Well, it's just a series of dares, right? Where
the devil is daring.
Mhm.
The devil went down to Georgia and is daring Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
Got it.
He's like,
Jesus.
hey, Deez, why don't you jump off of this building and prove you're the son of God
And he is like,
by flying?
by flying. He's like, you're Superman, right?
Right.
Which isn't Superman supposed to be Jesus, kind of?
It's a little bit
There's
of a
parallels.
parallel, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Jesus said to him, again, it is written, you shall not test the Lord your God. Again, the devil took him to an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world. My son, all of this will be yours,
Mhm.
and their glory. He said to him, I will give you all of these things if you will fall down and worship me. Then Jesus said to him, get behind me. What is this? TR and NU read go away instead of get behind me. What is TR and NU?
I have no
I'm
idea.
assuming different translations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Jesus said to me, get behind me, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve. Is that a big one?
Yes. That's why I have my arms up in the air.
Okay.
Have you heard that before, Emily? Get behind me, Satan.
I've heard not today, Satan.
That is a different
Basically the same.
thing. Same idea. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, that get behind me, Satan is another one of those ones that's whipped out a lot as this don't tempt me.
Oh.
It's this get behind me,
Okay.
Satan. It's kind of in response to this context here. Once again, I'm like, now that you know these, I'm hoping that you start
Actually
hearing them and you're
hear
like,
them.
oh my gosh, that's the thing. Yeah.
Then the devil left him. He was over it. And behold, angels came and ministered to him. Now, when Jesus heard that John was delivered up, he withdrew into Galilee. What is, wait,
Galilee.
Uh-huh.
John was delivered up? What does that mean? Did he die?
Did he die?
I don't know.
Hey, we haven't invited Eugene's translation into this conversation yet.
You're right. What verse number is that?
That was 12.
When Jesus got word that John had been arrested, he returned to Galilee.
Like delivered up to the popo.
Yeah. Thank you, Eugene, from The Message.
Leaving Nazareth, he came and lived in Capernaum,
Huh.
which is by the sea, in the region of Zebulun and Naphtali, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken through Isaiah the prophet, saying, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali toward the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles, the people who sat in darkness saw a great light. To those who sat in the region and shadow of death, to them light has dawned. From that time, Jesus began to preach and said, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Walking by the Sea of Galilee, TR reads Jesus instead of he. Okay,
I don't know why.
I don't care.
We're suddenly, we don't care.
Yeah.
We do not care,
Yeah.
Old English Bible.
Exactly. He saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother. What? Then just call him Peter.
Okay, a thought I was just having.
Yeah.
Emily, I'm so glad that we're doing this
This is
podcast
wonderful.
because it's like when you're raised Christian, you never
You can't say these things, but I can because
you can
I
never
wasn't.
read you can never read this for the first time again.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You can never get your first impressions. And for me, it's realizing, oh yeah, we don't really get any motivation for Jesus. It's like it's assuming we're going and
It's going
knowing
in
already
so quickly.
Jesus is cool and divine, and then also knowing already that Simon's name is going to be changed into Peter. But it's like this has not been written for the first time reader in mind.
No, I don't know what's going on.
Mhm. When I was growing up, he was often just called Simon Peter.
Oh,
Like Billy Bob, like as if it's one name.
okay. That's funny. Okay, so Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen.
Hmm.
He said to them, Come after me, and I will make you fishers for men.
Boy, oh boy.
Hey-o.
They immediately left their nets and followed them.
It was so compelling.
Yeah.
I know.
Jeez.
They left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James the son of Zebedee and John his brother. There's so many Johns. There's going to be more Johns.
Mhm.
In the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. He called them. They immediately left the boat and their father and followed him. Jesus went about in all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every disease and every sickness among the people. Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Can we pause for just a moment and
Yeah, I think we
kind
should.
of recap here? So who do we have so far? We have Simon, who is also Peter. We have his brother, Andrew.
Andrew,
Who else
John,
did we just
and
get?
James, and Zebedee.
Right. And those guys are all just Fisher Bros. They're not related to each other.
No, they
Well,
are.
it's two sets of brothers.
James and John are brothers, and Zebedee is their father, is the father of
Oh,
James
he's the dad.
and John.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a million brothers and dads.
I'm just keeping track of who all we need to cast at some point here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, many.
Yeah, okay, so the report about him went out into all of Syria. They brought to him all who were sick, afflicted with various diseases and torments, possessed with demons, electopix. What is this? What does this say?
What?
Oh, wait, that's what that says. Epileptics
Electopix, what?
and paralytics.
Epileptics.
Paralytics?
Ugh.
And he healed them. Great multitudes from Galilee, Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and from beyond the Jordan followed him. This is just really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. Anyways, that's it for today.
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Other than your yeah, that's it. Okay, other than it being fast, what other impressions? Like how does it match your expectations of Hot Christ Summer
I
so
mean,
far?
at least, it's action packed. There's some stuff. There's like people wanting to kill Jesus immediately. There's Jesus, just being kind of a badass immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard a lot of people be like, it's similar to how they talk about Mozart, who also died at 33 or something.
What?
They're like, he would have done so much more had he been able to live longer. Like similar kind of stuff.
Right.
Interesting.
And I guess
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, he would have been able to like heal more people or spread his gospel further and wider. But I guess it's pretty far and wide at this point.
It's pretty far and wide. Yeah.
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 I do have a request in the chat here for reading the Tyndale for that
Yeah.
last bit there.
Oh, okay, sure.
So let's see. From where? Boy, I mean, all of this is good. That's the problem. I'm going to go from verse 18.
Okay.
As Jesus walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw we two brethren, Simon, which was called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea. That's S-E-E.
Oh,
sea.
good, cute.
For they were fishers. And he said unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their netties and followed him.
They're nutty pots.
Yeah.
And he went forth from thence and saw other two brethren, James, the son of Zebedee, and Ehon, his brother, in the shippy with Zebedee, their father,
Ehon.
mending their netties, and called them. And they, without tarrying, ooh, I love that. And they, without tarrying, left the ship and their father and followed him. So Zebedee did not come with them.
Oh, okay.
And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching ye gospel of the kingdom, and healed all manner of sickness and all manner diseases among ye people. And his fame spread abroad throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sicky people that were taken with
All
diverse
sicky people.
diseases, and grippings, and them it were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic,
Oh,
and
good.
those that had the palsy, and he healed thee. And there followed him a great nombre of people from Galilee, and from the 10 cities, from Jerusalem, and from Uri, and from ye regions that lie beyond the Jordan.
Yeah, thank you, Tyndale.
Wow.
He died that we might have this joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. My goodness.
He was too busy. He didn't have time to spell things properly. He's actively running for his life. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. And writing at the same
Yeah.
time. Somehow we got it.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
fun.
here. Wow.
We did it. We have made it to Hot Christ Summer. We are in the midst of it, and we'll have more next week. I mean, at least like things are happening. I appreciate that. I feel
Yes.
like
Mhm.
things are going to be happening constantly, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
It's true. I do think in the Gospels we will not have as many long slogs necessarily.
Will we have that
Yeah.
again in general? Are there long slogs to come?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There will be slogs.
Like what?
As the prophet said, there will be sloggies.
Okay.
But not soon. I think actually the Gospels are going to be pretty tight as far as narrative goes. I mean, by the standards of the Bible, we are going to be so action packed for the next several months.
Yeah.
While we
It's
read
great.
through the Gospels,
It's great.
like through Christmas and everything, we'll still be up in Jesus during Christmas. I think.
Okay. When does Paul
Mhm.
I
happen?
should
I've heard a
actually check
lot
on that.
about,
Yeah, I
by a
think
lot,
so.
I mean, I've heard that Paul's kind of intense or things happen.
Yeah, so it's like we get the Gospels,
And then Paul?
and then we get the Acts of the
Oh, okay.
Apostles, and then it's basically Paul all the way down until Revelation. That's not quite true, but close to true. Paul's going to have written most of what we read in this testament of newness.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
That's intense.
Testamento Nuevo, as we call it.
Well, let's store up all these things in our heart and look forward to Hot Christ Summer
And then autumn
Day
and winter.
to
Yes.
Yes.
Hot Christ spring. Wait, will Christ still be a character in the later things or no? After he's dead, will he still be a character?
Well, sadly, not an active character necessarily. A lot of reference, a lot of name dropping.
Okay.
Though.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Mhm.
Fun times. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for Bible study today. If you want to join the audience in our live stream shows, follow us on Twitch at Drunk Bible Study or go to drunkbiblestudy.com/live. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoyed the show, take a moment to subscribe and write us a nice review on iTunes, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group or on Discord at discord.drunkbiblestudy.com. Follow us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional